Hey guys, this is Adrian from Real RC Reviews, and today we're looking at the E-Flite UMX Cirrus SR22T from Horizon Hobby. It is a 2S brushless. They're still calling them micros, but I'd say they're more of a mini. I say that because comparing it in size to an original micro from Horizon Hobby, these things have like half the wingspan and maybe 3/4 the length. And so this was truly a micro. These guys, I'd say, are more mini scale than this little guy. Doing this format here in this review, like I did my Viper, I'm going to go ahead and just talk about everything up front, and then you can watch the flight footage. So I will go into setup. With planes like this that I know are going to be predictable, I just go with like high rates at 100% throw with like 45% expo, and then for my mid rates I use about 80% throw with 35 on the expo, and then for lowest rates about 60% throw with 25 on the expo. I did the same thing with this. It's pretty responsive. As far as CG goes, to balance it on the points that they say to balance it on, I couldn't get the battery far enough forward without the part of the canopy touching it. So I went back to the manual. The manual said to stick it in the middle of the Velcro, and that's kind of what I did. Watch the video and look at the landing, and you tell me if you think it's nose heavy or tail heavy or what's going on there. I am a pretty solid lander with all of my airplanes, and for some reason I can't quite figure this one out. I've only flown it about 5 times at this point, but my landings just aren't as sweet as I like them. I've tried to come in with less throttle. I've tried to come in with more throttle. And I feel like when I get to a certain point in my landing, it's either ballooning up a little bit or it's kind of slamming down. So you guys tell me if you guys think it's nose heavy or tail heavy, and I'll try to make some adjustments. I definitely want to shoot more video. I shot some video the day I got it, and unfortunately when I did my Viper review, I accidentally erased my original footage and my maiden flight on this thing. So the footage that you'll see after this chit chat is at a field that was a little bit less than ideal. It was a little bit tighter quarters than I would have preferred, but whatever. I love the way this thing flies. I love everything about it. I love the way it looks. I love the quality of it. But I don't know. I can't get over the way I'm landing. And watch my other flight videos. And I don't know, if you knew people around me, people that I fly with, they would tell you that I do not suck at landing. But this thing so far has made me kind of look like I suck at landing. And that sucks. I don't like to feel like that, because if there's one thing that I can do, maybe I can't do the best hover, maybe I can't do rolling Harriers, but damn it, I can land. So you'll see in my video that I ripped this sucker out. The plate at the top of the landing gear goes in with like 4 prongs, and it really just pulled out, so no damage there to the plane. Maybe it wasn't glued that well in the first place, but it just kind of yanked it out, and that sucked and was kind of depressing. And this thing bent a little bit, so I had to bend that back. I'm not used to doing any damage to my micros because, as I said, I can land and I generally can fly. The other complaint that I have is back here. I would kind of hope that this top part of the tail would be more reinforced. you have some reinforcement there, but not here at on this piece. So it's really flimsy, and if you bump it at all, you're going to bend it or break it. I just set this on my desk, and hold on a second. I set this on my desk and I pushed it too far back. I actually cracked that piece there. Again, that's my fault, but it is pretty thin and crispy. What else? Oh, another thing I don't care for is the fact that without a battery in here, this is my little bag of screws that I use to weight it down. Without a battery in here, your plane will do that. It won't sit forward the way it should, which is kind of a bummer, because who wants to shove stuff in there? So as cavernous as this looks in here, the strip of Velcro they give you is here. Like I said, I'm kind of just putting the battery in the middle of that. That's what they say to do, although it balances the best if you could move it forward. But that little piece there on the canopy stops you from moving the battery to the point where it would at least balance perfectly according to their measurements. So maybe that's why my landings suck. I don't know, but I would like to think that it's not my lack of skill, but something in the suggested CG or something. But maybe I do suck. Sorry, I'm fussing with this thing, trying to get that put away. So, back to the plane. As you can see, it's absolutely gorgeous. It is fun to fly. It is sporty. It's fast. It inverts pretty well. I didn't loop it on this flight video, but I have looped it. Loops like a champ. Roll rate's pretty good. Climb is pretty nice. It has some great slow flight characteristics, though I did make a couple low speed turns, banked turns, and you have to keep some throttle on there or you will get a tip stall. You will drop a wing and it will get a little hairy. You can pull out of it easily by just hitting the throttle, but also again on my landings that you'll see in the video, they're less than stellar. One time I came in with too little throttle. I think it tip stalled it, but the other time I thought I came in with decent speed, and like I said, I can't figure it out. I can't figure out if I'm nose heavy or tail heavy, but I feel like I'm slamming into the ground. My videos that got erased, the landings were better, but it was a stronger wind that day, so I could keep a lot of throttle on going into the wind and just kind of touching down softly that way. But yeah, I hope I can figure that out, because I really like everything else about this plane. The biggest thing is that it's gorgeous. I've always loved SR22s. They have replicated it really nicely with this plane. You won't be able to fly off grass with landing gear on this thing. So you either need like packed dirt from a baseball field or pavement or something like that. But definitely keep an eye on your landings, and if you get this plane, and let me know how you have fared with the CG and the landings and stuff. But for 129, it's a hell of a plane. It looks gorgeous. It looks awesome. It's a real head turner. The navigation lights are a nice addition. So, would I recommend it to a person that's getting into their first plane? I'd say no. I would say go with the UMX Timber. It's a bit more friendly and beginner friendly, and you can grow with it because it is pretty responsive you know, on high rates you can roll it pretty well and all that stuff. But this is a good second or third plane. If you like just having nice scale planes, you just want to add something to the collection. If you're an expert flyer, it's definitely a nice thing to have. So I do still recommend it despite some of the issues I'm having with it. So I would still give it a solid recommendation. Just keep your eye on the landings and the CG, and again, if you have any comments or suggestions, leave them in the comment section. So I appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and go ahead and watch my flight videos right after this. Take care, guys. Bye. Alright guys, this is the flight footage of the E-Flite UMX SR22T. I had footage and I was ready to do my review, but I erased it. So here I am again. This isn't a paved runway like last time. This is an infield and it's really wet. The good thing is I think this plane is light enough. So I will go over the rest of the plane from the inside of my home. Go into details, show you some close-ups. Just up front, this is a really good-looking plane. So I will give you some details later, and let's get this sucker in the air. Kind of jumps in the air. I have my high rates on right now. I'm maybe at a quarter throttle right here, so you can see it slows down nicely. I don't have a safe set on here. But of course all these planes use AS3X now. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my bearings on this field. With these brushless UMX planes, they definitely have a lot more speed and power than all the originals. So the original one cell brushed planes. Let's see, let's do a little speed. Yeah, you kick full throttle on this thing, you're gonna run out of field very quickly if you're on a, you know, smallish baseball diamond. But this fact that I'm flying this slowly shows how nice and controllable this is. And even in a relatively tight space like this, you don't have to you know, be hot rodding all the time. You get a nice pleasant flight. Wind's at about 5 miles per hour right now. Let's see here. You know, the speed pass. So it's definitely got some punch to it. Let me roll it for you guys. Pretty nice roll rate for this little guy. Let's do it again. See if I can invert in this amount of room. Oh yeah. Not the smoothest transition, but inverts nicely. I really like this thing. It's pretty sweet looking, and if I can fly in a place like this, I can definitely see that it would be suitable for a good sized gym. Maybe not a single basketball court, but definitely you know, a full size court or something. Sorry for the repetitive flying. I just you know, just talking a little bit while telling you about the plane as I buzz around in circles. Let's see what a landing looks like out here. Watch out for your tip stalls. Like that. That is a kind of tip stally landing. Honestly, I would make sure you come down with some speed. I think I just bent the landing gear. Let's get back up there. Oh man. Okay, let's improve on those. You definitely want to be gentle on these small planes. They are durable-ish. I see I might have damaged the landing gear on one side. I will definitely shoot more video of this, but I wanted to show you guys what this thing does in the air. I will speak to its durability and stuff from home, but as you can see, it just flies beautifully, and I can't wait to fly it on a more open field. So with that said, let me wrap this up and do a landing. Yeah, I do not like the way it lands. It if you give it any speed on the way in, it is looks like it's ballooning a little bit at the very end, and if you don't get enough speed, you're gonna tip stall. So well, I wish I could show you my first two flights with it, because I did land fine, except it was just it's kind of hairy. You had to keep throttling, letting go, throttle, let go, throttle. And I'm using the recommended center of gravity. So anyway, let's call this a day and get back in and talk about it. Bye guys.